Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Chop It Up. And as you can see, we're traveling kind of light today. Uh, Barry and JR are missing. I think one of them may be going to get a haircut or something. Hell, I don't know.
Wait, oh, for real? That's why they're not
No,
here, is a haircut?
no, I just felt like saying it.
Which
Anyhow,
one is getting the haircut? Is there? I'm gonna guess it's Revis because I know Barry's not just getting the haircut.
no. All right. Michelle, you exercised your right and privilege to vote this week,
Woohoo! Riding with Biden.
riding with Biden. There you go.
Riding with Biden.
And just as important, you also voted in some of the judicial
Yes,
elections for some judges.
because
A
they
lot,
are important.
yes, a lot of people may overlook a judge when they think about, the grand scheme of things. And it's important to have justices on the bench whose performance reflects your ideal of what the court is supposed to do. Because a lot of these judges are known for what I like to call just reckless denials because they have someone over them, an appellate court, to oversee them. And it's one of those situations where a judge can tell his constituents, which really sucks to even use that term, hey, you voted me in and I've been bamming guys, even though he's not supposed to bam some of these guys.
Pretty much. What they have found in, I think it's Alabama, because Alabama, the judge can say death penalty, can overrule jury or something like that. And what they have found is during election years for the judges, guess what goes up? Death penalties.
Cannon fodder for electoral votes.
Yep.
And see, in the times that we're living in right now with such financial upheaval and financial unrest and uncertainty, having a judge who does that kind of thing is really irresponsible because all these appeals cost money, you know, and then having to go through the whole jury process again, the whole trial process again. I mean, not only are the prosecutor's offices severely undermanned, and same thing for the public defender's office, but you're putting a burden on the higher courts, on the appellate courts, and even the Florida Supreme Court, because all that, every time those doors open, it costs money. Everybody in there is on a salary, everybody's going to get paid. So, I mean, I would think that in these times, it would be better to have some judges who are responsible because then they can ease the burden on the taxpayers for having to pay for all this stuff.
Yep.
Also, you have judges who, I don't know I'm not looking for a kind term here, but you have judges that will recklessly deny stuff, find guys, let guys be found guilty, you know, and not even think for a minute how this is going to impact everybody else. A lot of guys who are on appeal, post appellate, post conviction work, appeal and post appeal, they're pro se. And judges tend to slam these guys and deny stuff with the thought that, well, he's going to mess up something on the next level too, and it's just going to be easy peasy to get him on out of the way. When the Constitution reads that a pro se litigant, his pleadings shall be, not should be, not could be, not may be, but shall, which means must, be viewed in the most lenient and accepting of terms, and given the strongest persuasion that the court can muster.
So, Robert, what does pro se mean?
Okay, a pro se litigant, you have the right to represent yourself, and there's just as many horror stories as a lawyer, misrepresenting somebody or giving them a lackluster representation, as there is a guy who represents himself, because a lot of guys go to prison and they're disenchanted with the way they were treated in trial. And that carries over, and then they learn a little bit. Some of them don't. Some of them just go to a chain gang Johnny Cochran, and he tricks them, filing a whole bunch of bullshit claims that, there are certain claims that are triggers where if you make this claim, you must be given an evidentiary hearing so they can determine if this claim is valid. So guys that say, man, I promise, I swear I'll get you back to court. He's not promising it's going to be meaningful. You're going to get back to court and they're going to say, why the hell did you file this dumbass shit, and send you right back to prison?
Yeah.
But some guys, they buy into the hype and they do that, and they represent themselves and they go back to court.
Or they get banned from the courts. You have where
they
do the frivolous lawsuit, and then they wind up getting banned.
And, there are, I've seen it a million times where guys are telling them, oh no, that's just, you get this letter from the court that says, hey, this is bullshit. Don't pursue this. This is a warning. Oh no, bro. They send that to everybody. That's a technicality. They're just trying to scare you because they know that you're fixing to win. I'm going to win. Oh yeah, I'm filing this appeal. And then next thing you know, you're getting called to classification and they're reading you a DR. They're sending your ass to jail. They're banning you from ever fighting anything else again. And this is the first time I ever saw that, bro. That's what they tell you when you get out of jail. First time I ever saw that happen. Man, that's crazy. And then they're all, hey, hold up, man. I've been working on your case. And they run to the next duck.
Yep.
That's the way it goes.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you're talking about judges, and we're talking about going to court and making sure that we elect judges that are in line with what we want to see in our court.
And judges that are responsible, check them out. When you see the letters PCA behind the judge, per curiam affirmed, that's like just bamming guys. That's putting a hammer on them. Rubber stamp. You're out of here. You're out of here. You're out of here. Because that makes it harder, more difficult to appeal. Because a judge is, when he says denied based on, and he gives an opinion, well, now that opinion becomes his individual interpretation, which is open to argument and to appeal. So the PCA is just him saying denied without having to put an opinion, and it makes it a little more difficult for you to move effectively to the next level. I mean, listen.
And what it's also seen is that it's condoning all the behavior that the person was saying was incorrect or wrong or any of that other stuff when they don't give an opinion. They're not giving any information. There's no information given. So the prosecutor can't change their behaviors, or they feel like their behaviors are okay, that they're condoned, but that might not be the reason that the decision was made. So there's a whole bunch of stuff that goes wrong when judges just give a blanket, oh, that's just the way that it is, and don't give any rationale for their argument. It's kind of like on the math test where they say, show your work.
Yes.
The judge doesn't show their work.
Right. And the thing is, I mean, listen.
It's just laziness.
The judicial system, it can be a monster. Ideally, it's designed to work with a balance, and the balance gets out of whack because the guy whose life and liberty is at stake is the most inexperienced member of the team. The judge, the prosecutor, the defense attorney, all these guys, all these parties are more experienced in what's going on. So the fact, or even the assumption, presumption, whatever you want to call it, that it's a fair playing field is completely wrong. I have seen guys in prison, man, with a 4th grade reading level that can't even tell you what happened in their trial. Like they weren't even there, and they just say, well, my lawyer told me this. Well, my lawyer told me that. Well, my lawyer said this. My lawyer said that. And they have no idea what's really being argued. They just don't know. Yeah. And it's a sad truth. And it all gets back to having some type of identification with the defendant. Everybody with a violent crime has a victim. There are guys that are in prison with nonviolent crimes that got railroaded. There's no reason to railroad somebody. If somebody is guilty, the system is designed that you should be able to fairly and justly find him guilty and give him a fair and just sentence after the fact.
Yeah. That's what's supposed to be happening.
That's what's supposed to be happening. So if you want to make sure it happens step by step, get out there and vote. Vote for a judge that you like. There you
Freedom.
go. And if you like this video, well, press like, press subscribe, and press share. And we'll be back with some more stuff, even if you don't. See you later.